The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back into it, and we're back at it. This is The Local Show with Tom and Steve. You couldn't find a happier place to be. This is
I could be fishing.
Sort of like, well, that's true.
That would be happier.
Some people think that's happy.
Well, I think
Nicholas went out fishing with his girlfriend over to Lakeshore and caught nothing.
Okay.
But, it was kind of just random, off the shore.
Yeah.
But now's the time, though, right?
Walleye season's open.
Matt Gutches was saying things are hitting out there.
Yeah. Big tournament this weekend.
Yeah, this is great.
And no fish.
Will you go later? Or
I will. I'll be out there. I'll be wandering around this weekend.
I know you. You'll be looking for the guys catching the fish, and then you'll sidle up next to them. And
that's maybe true. Why, if they're catching them?
Right.
That's a sign of wisdom, Tom.
Yes, that is. All right. Hey, look, speaking of wisdom, we have somebody who's been in a business for a long, long time, for generations. As a matter of fact, we say hello to Marie Farone. She's a licensed funeral director at Farone & Son Incorporated. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you.
I think she's one of your people, Tom.
She is one of my people.
I am.
All right.
How does a pretty girl like you get into the death and dying business,
I have no idea.
How long has your family been in this business?
Since 1911.
Wow, that's a long time. Long time. Now, did you grow up in the business? Like, were you running around the funeral home as a child?
We were.
Oh,
yes.
Isn't that something?
It was something.
So well, being of Italian heritage,
Right.
tell me what that experience was like. Did you grow up on the north side? Were you?
We did grow up. I was on the north side till about 10. Went to Catholic school till 3rd grade.
Sure,
Our
yeah.
Lady of Pompeii.
Of course, absolutely.
A lot of people listening will know
Father
that.
Bergognoni. Was he still alive when you were there?
He was, actually,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom, for a little while, did the hair at the funeral home. She was a hairdresser.
Oh, wow. Hairdresser,
so
yeah.
she did that.
Sure.
But and my grandfather and grandmother lived down the street, so we would see them every Sunday, of course, right? But we would go to the funeral home, maybe to visit my dad during the day, or
Right.
Sure. Did it creep you out when you were a little kid?
No,
It
not
became
too
every
bad.
day, right? I mean,
it was just a normal thing.
They always,
yes.
they made it kind of normalized it.
Right. You grew up with a
And-
microphone, Tom. Did your family get creeped out by the microphone?
Well, no.
Okay, see,
But
it's just every day, always there.
Right. Yes. And then when I had children, I would bring my kids down.
Right.
Also, so
Isn't that
you just
something?
get used to
Yeah,
it.
death is part of living.
Right.
Right? I mean, it really is part of the process. And you guys, I've been there many times for calling hours and funerals and things. There's a gap that has to be filled at that time, and you guys have been doing that since 1911.
Right. I'm
Wow.
the 4th generation.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. And tell everybody where the funeral home is located.
We have 2 locations, 1500 Park Street on the north side.
That's the one I know.
Yep, on the
Right.
north. Yep.
And then we recently opened a funeral home in Liverpool, 4899 West Taft Road.
Okay.
Which is
Okay, so
next
West
to the
Taft-
Humane Association.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Towards where Vine Street is, up near Henry Clay Boulevard.
And Wegmans is
Right.
over there too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same
Oh,
side as Wegmans.
Okay.
Okay, that's great.
Are people
Right.
preferring the suburbs for the life celebrations? Are they preferring the city, or is it split between them?
It's still split.
Okay.
Families still like the city, the north side,
Yeah.
the traditional funeral home.
Sure.
Because the funeral home in Liverpool is modern, really modern. So
And what
I've been
makes
in there
it
too.
modern? Because
Right.
a lot of us, and even the listening audience, you don't go to funerals all the time.
You haven't been to the one in Liverpool?
No, I have not.
They have a drive-through, Tom.
That's right.
Just kidding. Okay.
thought about it.
Well, what makes it kind of a modern thing? How have you seen it change from the time when we were kids?
Okay.
till
Good
now?
question.
Well, it was built for a funeral home, whereas both of our locations were. But years ago, a house like our original one on James Street was
Yeah.
a mansion.
Right.
Now it's the Vera House, But that was a mansion made into a funeral home.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the one on Taft Road is bright. It's very bright.
I see.
People, when they walk into it, they feel like they're in the lobby of a hotel.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Where our north side location might be a little
more
darker
stuffy.
and
Yeah.
right, because it's older too.
Sure.
But so
Yeah, I was in there last year. I know, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Which
it is
one?
bright.
The
new one.
Right.
I was at the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, the outside design too. The architectural. It's gorgeous and it's very different. So,
Do you feel that things have changed as far as the way people celebrate death? You know, is it really always a somber, downtrodden type thing, or do they celebrate life, the life of the person?
right. So yes, that's what you see it more. People trying to celebrate the life that they lived, compared to years ago when it was somber. You had to wake for 3 days. You couldn't talk. I don't even think the widow would eat until it was over. Where now, like, we are celebrating life. Look what this person did. Look at the grandchildren we have, the family that we have. So,
how much does technology play a role in the celebration these days? Do you have big screens and videos and all that stuff?
right. So now we have a slideshow. Families bring photos. People want it live streamed now.
Oh, yeah,
which is different.
My wife's family does that a lot because
Ireland?
she's from Ireland. Yeah.
Oh.
And they still have a lot of family in Ireland and stuff. So they always live stream every time when someone passes away here. You know?
Right.
It seems like more people choose cremation than they did years ago. Is that true?
That's true too. Yes, cremation is becoming very popular.
Yeah. What I don't know if there's percentages. Is it like half the people or 2/3 or the polarity? It seems like that's the almost the norm these days.
I know. It's could be about 50-50 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
probably
trending towards cremation, right?
Yes.
Now, do you do that on premise or is that sent out somewhere?
No, there's two places that we use in Syracuse for sending out for the cremation. But they need the funeral home to do all the work in advance. Yeah.
How about just a regular preparation of the body, the deceased? Do you take care of all that there? Like, do you have a degree from the mortuary science school and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're licensed embalmers and funeral directors.
Okay.
We do everything at our funeral home, both places.
Yeah.
My son and my niece, who are the 5th generation of funeral directors, do mostly that work now. They let me rest a little bit.
There we go.
But you've done that. You've done the embalming and all that?
Since I was 18.
Oh, my goodness.
I would be, I never thought I was going to go in the funeral business.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought I would, but one day my dad said to me, well, why don't you go in the funeral business? That was my dad's, if you had a problem, like maybe I just broke up with my boyfriend, he would say, well, why don't you become a funeral director? So that was his.
It's so Italian,
right? So it's a true story. So I went to mortuary school and I never looked back. Like, I didn't ever think I would be a funeral director, but I can't.
How do you deal
else.
with it? How do you deal with it with personality and emotions? Like, you know, you get done embalming somebody when you were younger, and then you go, hey, let's go out on a date. Right. You know, I mean, how does that work?
It works. The guy likes to hear the story about it.
Really? Yeah.
Well, you guys have a great reputation locally.
Yeah,
Thanks.
really
I mean, you really do. The family's known, the reputation's there.
Thank you.
If people want to have a conversation, maybe do some pre-planning, FaroneandSonInc.com.
Correct.
They could go there, or they could call and just chat with you, right?
Absolutely.
422-1911, the year you were founded. Look at that,
Yes.
422-1911.
Yes.
Marie, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.